Guys, can you believe that this year is finally coming to the end? Gosh, I'm super excited that it's almost over. I'm in a festive mood, and during its last week I'll be releasing my yearly roundups. And we'll begin today with top 10 list of my best and worst perfume purchases of 2020. If you want to find out more about them, please keep on watching. But before I get started, I wanted to ask everyone who hasn't subscribed yet to my channel, please do so, because that will really help it to grow. And of course, I'm curious, what's your most successful and least successful perfume purchase of the year? So once you've done all that, we are gonna talk about my top 10 list. Let's keep on watching. So guys, welcome back. Wow, in 2020 I bought a lot of perfumes, a lot of good ones, least good ones, but still there were some major hits and major misses, which we are gonna chat about in this video. So I want to begin with a fragrance called Meet Me on the Corner by the British indie brand 4160 Tuesdays. I mention it a lot on my channel, so I'm wondering if you've ever experienced anything from it. Maybe you have a favorite yourself, and maybe you've also already smelled this fragrance I'll be telling you about right now. So please let me know that. And the reason why I wanted to Meet Me on the Corner is because I had a sample of it and I fell in love with it right at first sniff. It was very special because the obviously citrusy opening really impressed me, which happens seldom with fragrances, because as you know, I'm not the biggest fan of citrusy notes. In here though, you get a whole bunch of different, sparkling citrusy top notes and one special called Mandora, which is kind of like a mix of orange and lemon, if I'm not wrong, or a mandarin. So you can notice that there is a different citrus going on in there, which is pretty, hard to find nowadays. So overall, I would say it's like a citrus modern chypre. There is moss that doesn't smell like a forest, so it's very fresh, it's very fun, and at the same time it has a lot of elegance to it. So this elegant vibe with an exciting citrusy note really impressed me, and I've been wanting to purchase it for a long time, and I really like it when it's a little bit colder, and it's my morning fragrance. So I purchased it in the beginning of the year, and ever since I like to apply a little bit in the morning because it has this wake me up feeling. So it's a lot of fun. Once again, it's hard for me to truly enjoy a citrusy fragrance, and it makes me happy every morning, which is cool because, in the morning I'm always so, oh gosh, in the evening I'm very productive, but in the morning it takes me a long time to wake up, to finally, get all of my stuff together and start to work on something. And this fragrance just makes the process a bit faster and more fun. So I'm very happy that I finally bought it. I loved it as I first tried it, and I still do. So it's one of those fragrances that I don't get bored of quickly, which is on its own a reason to buy it. Okay, next fragrance is Vanille Fatale by Tom Ford. As you know, I mentioned it a lot of times on my channel. It's one of my biggest favorites of all times, hands down the most complex vanilla fragrance I've ever smelled, because in it you won't get that, cookie, bakery vanilla. It's rather woody, boozy, deep, dark, but yes, sort of gourmand, very chic. Vanilla that is so good. In the past, I used to go to the store and apply it on my coat so I could smell it for days, and I put it on my wish list for this year and purchased it, and was wearing a lot of it. So I'm just super duper happy about this purchase. It's definitely one of the most successful ones. I've been craving these perfumes for years, and now when I have it, I wear it and I'm like, yeah, why did it take you so long to finally get it? So I just love all the complexity, all the layers of this beautiful, undeniably vanillic fragrance, and its name is just spot on. Oh, speaking about those fragrances I've been wanting forever and loved at first sniff, let me tell you about Louis by my favorite brand Guerlain. So the thing with this fragrance is, I remember when they launched it, the advertising said that it's the first unisex fragrance. I don't know if they were marketing it as a designer perfume or whatever, I'm not sure. But of course it's not the first unisex perfume. Maybe the first unisex from Guerlain, I'm not sure. Anyway, I love the notes because there is clove, there is pear, benzoin, carnation, smoke, vanilla, leather, woods, and musk. So notes breakdown sounded very interesting to me. I like the bottle, I like how they made it sound, but the problem was I couldn't find it anywhere. And later, after many, phone calls and going to the shops, I found out that it's available in Frankfurt. So I went there, I smelled it, I loved it. But back in the days, it was very expensive for me personally, at least I thought so. Anyway, I didn't purchase it, and I haven't purchased it for years. So I used to spray it on myself in the store. It took me such a long time to buy it. And I'm wondering now why, because I still adore it. So this year, finally, I purchased it, and it's very good that I did, because Benny, who is not the biggest fan of perfumes, I mean, like, thanks to me, he starts to appreciate high-quality fragrances, but he can perfectly live without them. With that being said, Louis is his major favorite. He loves this cocooning, oriental, smoky, spicy, sweet deliciousness that has Guerlain's signature written all over it. And now I have it, and Benny literally goes to the perfume shelf and grabs and sprays it on him, and every single time I wear it or he wears it, it's pure joy. So with that being said, it's definitely one of the best perfume purchases I've made, and yeah, it's just great, particularly for cold weather, because it's so warming. Oh, hard to get, but so worth it. So this next fragrance, Little Smile by DSH, I purchased around the first lockdown, and I wore it so often during the day as I was mostly at home, or particularly in the evening time, because it's very comforting, very creamy, very smooth, vanilla musk scent with interestingly sweet, almost sugary, orangey, like sparkles, right? It's not like the opening is orangey. You get a lot of creamy, almost makeup-y musk with vanilla, so it's kind of sweet and very comforting, which was great during the quarantine. It was pretty tough time when no one knew what's happening, And this fragrance was quite peaceful, quite calming. Vanilla always does it for me, particularly when I'm going to bed. So I was wearing it a lot during the year, and I still continue doing that. So probably today I'm mentioning my top favorites of the year, top favorite purchases, and top most worn fragrances. So here you go. I actually used to have a sample of it, and then I remember that it's so just like pleasing and satisfying that I decided to purchase it, and timing was great on the Little Smile by DSH. However, this next fragrance is the one I blind bought in 2020. I did not blind buy that many perfumes, but Habanita L'Esprit by MOLINARD is definitely one of the best blind buys of my life, and probably #1 blind buy of this year. So this is clean, makeup-y smelling fragrance that reminds me of my grandmother's powder puff. It is very musky, and it is very makeup-y. It smells like very elegant face powder with strongly, obviously old-fashioned vintage vibe, and I love it. I was wearing a lot of Habanita towards the end of quarantine, particularly as I spent time with Benny, and you know, this fragrance just immediately makes you feel like you're put together, like you're ready for something special, even though nothing special was going on. It made me feel more secure, I guess, so I still love it, particularly for the vintage makeup vibe. Ooh, let's talk about Iris TORREFIÉ by Guerlain, which is their limited exclusive release of this year. I mean, like, Guerlain is my favorite brand. I love it. I love it for the powderiness. I love it for, I don't know, everything. Basically, I've loved it since my childhood. The thing is, I don't own that many, or as many as I would like to own, of Guerlain's perfumes. So I guess one of the things I'll do next year, which I'll, you know, just rock. I want 2021 to be awesome, and I want to focus on fragrances I truly care about, not just, you know, new releases like I was, you know, going crazy about those during this year, probably because I couldn't smell that many in the store. Normally, if I go and smell a perfume, that, you know, need, that craving inside of me to own it kind of goes away for a while, and then, you know, I'm on to the next release. And sometimes when I'm truly impressed, or I'm kind of like, oh, okay, let's just buy it, you know, and think about afterwards. Yeah, that was kind of how I felt during 2020, but in 2021 I really want to buy fragrances like, for example, you know, Louis and Vanille Fatale that I truly care about, and Guerlain has a few of those. Anyway, this is a brand new release. I've never, you know, knew of it because it's none of those Guerlains that has been on my wish list forever, but I loved it right away, which wasn't hard because it is about Iris, and Guerlain's fragrances have that powderiness to them, and Iris is powdery note on its own, so Guerlain with Iris, that is just like, you know, very, very safe combo for me to go for. Here we have coffee and cardamom. I really like the opening of it because it's like spicy, slightly dark, grounding, aromatic, but not in the herbal, rather like in this cool coffee way. So it smells very expensive thanks to Iris too. I really love the dusty powderiness of it and the freshness as it you know, sits on the skin. For example, today I'm wearing it on my hair. Actually, I've sprayed the majority of these fragrances on myself, and I find that tea note in the base, it's really there. So it smells amazing in the opening, it smells amazing afterwards. It was really expensive purchase. I smelled it a couple of times in the store. I decided to buy it, and that day crazy stuff happened. If you want to find out which, I have a whole video dedicated to that. And after I bought it, I was like, is it even worth it? I mean, like, it's pretty, but it's nothing majorly groundbreaking, but now I can tell you it is. And you know, I am glad that I invested into it, because while purchasing it, before I did that, I made a promise to myself that I'll be actually wearing this perfume, because, you know, I have that problem not wearing fragrances I buy. So I did, and it was a lot of fun. So definitely one of the best decisions to buy an expensive perfume during this year. Oh guys, this is probably the most expensive fragrance I bought. That is from the exclusive collection PARCO Palladiano by Bottega Veneta, and it is called AZALEA. I've been having it for a couple of years, I believe, on my wish list, and this year, as I was going through the pitch obsession, I bought this fragrance and I didn't know, should I buy it or shouldn't I, because it's very expensive, but it smells so good. You can't even imagine, guys. Think about characterful design of fragrances from the past, you know, those ones with power, with strength, with mass appeal, at the same time uniqueness. It's shiny, juicy peach with stunning flowers. It's so good, and there is a note of chestnut in there too. So it's just truly sunny, truly happy fragrance for me, and in my opinion, it was even worth the money. So definitely a successful buy, purchase, yeah, purchase. Okay, this fragrance is in between a successful and least successful one, limited edition from MALONE that is called Midnight Musk and Amber. I mean, like, it's a very pretty bottle. I wore it a lot, so I don't complain, but it's simple and it's a little bit like, I don't know, nothing mind-blowing, but very wearable, very comforting and home-friendly. So it's not an intense fragrance. It's like musky neroli with juniper harshness in the opening, but soothing and pleasing and enjoyable for indoors, which, you know, is where I spent the majority of my time this year. So yeah, I mean, like, I don't regret this purchase for sure. I would say it's among the best ones I did this year, but I mean, like, it's nothing like I can tell you, oh, this is like so good, you need to have it. But it's pleasant, it has that sensual vibe, which I like about it. So yeah, a successful purchase, let's leave it at that. Ooh, guys, this is the fragrance I literally bought in the last minute of the year, which is called SHALIMAR PHILTRE or PHILTRE de Parfum, and that's newest flanker of the legendary SHALIMAR by Guerlain. You guys, I'm on my way to favorites of Guerlain's, you know, gorgeous, absolutely stunning, with almost vintagey opening, kind of like aldehydic, sparkly citruses. Later, Guerlain's powderiness that I'm so down for, and stunning, full-bodied, really thick vanilla in the dry down. So wearable, very festive to me. I purchased particularly to wear on Christmas. I did. It's one of my most worn fragrances of the year, although I purchased it literally the last days of it. So a huge fan, absolutely stunning. Oh, SHALIMAR is, you know, for the perfume experts, for those who have awesome taste, and this is kind of like a modernized version of it. So very wearable and friendly SHALIMAR. So at this point you might be wondering, okay, Yana, you've been like really excited about all these. What didn't you like? What do you regret purchasing? And you can guess that if you haven't guessed it already, because in the beginning of this year, Tom Ford released a fragrance. Actually, it was announced last year, and I just wanted to have it because of the bottle. So probably that's the reason why I bought Rose Prick, because its scent, I mean, like, in the opening I thought in the store it's all right. It was rosy, patchouli, nothing truly special, but smelled good, smelled expensive. In the dry down, the musk. I'm so sensitive to musk like this that I've noticed going on in some Narciso Rodriguez fragrances. I don't like it, but the fragrance is not bad and it's very pretty. So I don't regret this purchase, but it's one of the least worn fragrances that I bought this year. And if I compare them to the rest I've already mentioned, it's definitely probably the least successful one, because views on my review on it are not as high as I thought they would be. And that was all from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you have any questions left, go ahead and comment them down below. I'd be very happy to chat with you. And personally, I'm wondering, what's the best perfume you spent your money on this year? Please comment it down below too. But if you want more information regarding the ones I showed you today, then check out the description box for my previous reviews on them, and also more information how you can support my channel. Of course, subscription is highly appreciated. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and bell button next to it in order to be notified about my future content that you, by the way, can request. Maybe there is a certain top 10 list you are interested in, just let me know. So if you want even more from me, then check out my social media and follow me on Instagram and Facebook, where you will get more perfume private content and also opportunities to meet perfumers and brand owners in live chats to which I invite them. And thank you so much for watching this one. Make sure to stay tuned, smell good, and we'll see each other in my next one really soon. Bye, guys. Not only AZALEA is a beautiful, you know, like juicy, sunny, even powdery fragrance, but it's also long-lasting, so it's worth the money for sure. At least that's what I'm trying to convince myself of, because it was a real fortune. You know, it smells kind of dusty, like paper too, which is interesting. It's like tea leaf with coffee. Oh, it's one of a few fragrances I've just realized that features both notes, tea and coffee, that are actually quite contrasting, because tea is uplifting and fresh and coffee is more grounding and dark, but both bring a lot of aromatic quality to this powdery, dusty paper like iris. Well done, fragrance. For sure. Oh, guys, this new version of Shalimar is literally like a filter on the original heavy oriental, classy, timeless Shalimar, but so much smoother and with more, you know, like sparkles. I will always think of Christmas now anytime I'll smell it, because it might be most worn fragrance of the year, which is crazy because I've been having it only for a couple of days.